would wax, and so it doesn't go rancid. So that's the sandalwood.
This
So we
is sandalwood.
put in the drops of sandalwood on there. And so sandalwood's very nice. It has a light kind
It's
of...
sort of clean smelling.
Yeah, it's nice and clean. It's got a tiny bit of musk to it. And so there's the frankincense, and that's the next ingredient. We'll put a couple of drops in there. I think 3 drops in there.
Now that I would term sort of more medicinal.
It is somewhat medicinal, and one of my favorite aromatherapy stories is about frankincense, and it's grown on bushes in the Middle East. And if you've ever been in an Orthodox church or a church that still uses incense, that's the incense
smell.
they use. So the things that they go around like that and the smoke comes out, well, actually what frankincense does on a physical level, it helps lower your rate of breath.
Oh.
It slows down your breathing, it calms you. And so one of the reasons throughout history that they've used frankincense in churches is to actually put you in a more contemplative, meditative state of mind, and you know, maybe to see God, or I mean, it
open your mind.
Open your mind, exactly. So this next one, and frankincense, very good for, like I said, mature skin, wrinkles, sun damage, scarring. Most of the oils in here are very, very good for that. Now this is a really interesting one, and that's Peru balsam. And it has, as you'll see, a nice vanilla sort of scent.
That's what it smells like.
Yeah, and so all the balsamic scents, and this is another pretty thick one here. So we're
using 5.
And those we're using 5 drops. And
is it just through experimentation that you found out you need 5 of this, 3 of that, 1 of this?
Well, one of the things I developed on my own after, like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've had my business, Kismet Potions, for 17 years. And I trained as an aromatherapist, but also as a perfumer as well. And so sometimes they have a little air stuck in there, so I was only getting 1 little drop. There we go.
There it goes.
Okay, so 5 of that. So again, this one, very, very good for dry skin, mature skin. Now, here is one of my all-time favorite oils. This is rose, and I do have a little bit of that on there. We're going to do 5 drops of the rose.
Smells like roses.
Yeah, and rose is one of the most precious oils in the world. And have you ever felt a rose petal? I'm sure you have, yeah. And so the rose petals they feel velvety. They feel very soft. And they're very...
So is that the quality that it brings to the potion?
It does, it does, it
Softness,
does. Softness, smoothness. Also very good for scarring. And of course, it smells divine. Yeah. So that's another good reason. But again, good for mature skin, dry skin, all the different things.
So could this be put in your bath water?
Okay, here, thank you. That is an excellent question. Okay, one of the reasons that I love to put it in bath water is because it's so moisturizing. However, what happens is because it's an oil, it just lays on the top of the tub. So I would recommend putting it all over your body before you get in, except for your feet, because then it'll get too slippery. Yeah, don't have an accident. So now this is lavender, and we're going to put 6 drops of that. And to go back to what you were saying about how to know how many drops to put in of each, it is totally trial and error, very much experimentation. And this in particular, this one, like I said, I developed, because I needed to. But when I trained as an aromatherapist and a perfumer, there was a lot of blending classes that I took, and now I teach blending classes. I teach the skincare classes. But one of the things I came up with was odor intensity. And so you can just tell, the lavender is actually a top note. Or actually, I'm sorry, it's a middle note. And so it's a middle note. So it's got kind of a medium odor intensity. That doesn't always fly with every single one, but some of the really strong ones like carrot and frankincense, you see I put 3 drops of frankincense and 3 drops of carrot.
They're the high notes?
No, actually, those are the base notes.
Oh, those are the base notes.
And so I'm going to put a lot less of those in there because they're so intense. The sandalwood, however, smell the sandalwood and then smell the carrot. We put 3 of the carrot and 7 of the sandalwood. And so you can tell how much softer the sandalwood is. And so that's how you do it, too. And I tell people when they blend in my blending classes over and over and over again, 1 drop at a time.
Just try it.
So just try it.
You can't take it out. You can always add more.
Thank you. That's exactly what I say. You should teach my classes.
I'll take one.
So now doesn't that have a nice, very light sort of smell? It's not too overwhelming. And it's going to dissipate you know, fairly rapidly when you put it on your skin, but it's just a beautiful one to use, and it's really, really great for cuticles.
I bet for cuticles.
And so you can, of course, like I say, you always start up here because, you know, this area needs it as well, and I even go back into the neck and then use for the hair and body, and in this climate I use it every day with also a lotion as well. I feel that,
So you
know,
can't really overuse it. It's just sort of a luxury, though.
It is very luxurious, but it's so easy to make at home. I mean, you know, and you don't have to use all of the oils. I mean, you can use 3 or 4 of the oils instead, but it's just a little 1-ounce bottle, and I did 2/3 of the jojoba and then 1/3 of the rosehip, which we didn't talk about a lot, but excellent for burning, excellent for skincare. I probably started using it about 12 years ago, and I bought a big gallon of it, and I tried to open it after about 3 weeks, and I couldn't open the thing. I actually had to take a wrench to get it open because it actually forms a barrier on your skin, and so it's a free radical scavenger, so it helps prevent against
protection.
Yeah, wind and sun and pollution and all those things. So that's why rosehip seed, it's quite a bit more expensive, but it's worth it. So I only put about 1/3 of the rosehip seed in here. So
you started with the rose hips and the jojoba.
Yeah, and
then
you can see, you know, it's up to about here, so you would then top it off a little bit. So I always say add a scant, you know, 2/3 of the jojoba and 1/3 of the rosehip seed oil. And then at the end, you'll probably have to add just a little bit more as well. So.
Well, Kris, this has really been interesting. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.